Hi, everybody, and welcome to Traveling with Russell, and welcome to a new live stream, and welcome to Tuesday night here in Moscow region. Now, I'm not going to say Moscow because I'm actually outside of Moscow. I'm around about 40 kilometers from what is considered the center of Moscow. So, yeah, welcome to the live stream. It is currently -7 Celsius outside. Feels like about minus 11 or 12. It's been blue skies and sunny all day here. So the minute you get blue skies, it's much colder than it really is on the weather or the temperature gauge. So I hope everyone's doing well. I did try to give a little bit of a heads up for the time or the start time of the live stream. So I hope it's okay for everybody. I see there's a few people here already live, and there's a few likes as well or thumbs up. So thank you so much. It's just me today. My wife is already in bed because it's a little bit late. So it'll probably take a little while to get her back onto another live stream. So I hope it's okay that it's just me. Sorry if it looks like I'm looking around. I'm looking at the other screen and then this screen, and I'm looking at the chat. And then I also have another box open, which is what's called donation alerts. If anybody wants to utilize that to help the channel, I've got a text box open just to the side where I can see basically 3 different windows that I've got open at the same time. So I hope this chat is fun and interesting. And I guess we can talk a little bit about the previous video on the channel because it's got a lot of views. It's almost at 200,000 views. If anybody has or hasn't watched it, I think based on the poll, 24% said they haven't watched it, and now 23%, excuse me, and 23% hasn't watched it, and 77% has. So it's definitely gone out to much further beyond the channel and the subscribers and viewers of the channel. So yeah, if you watched it, thank you so much. A few people were already here earlier than the chat. RXV, hello, comrade. Привет, comrade. Yeah, здравствуйте. Hello, I'm not sure, RXV, maybe where you are or where you're from. Maybe let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Maybe let me know that you can see me and hear me clearly. Don't forget also there's a little cog on your settings, depending on how you watch your YouTube. If it's on a phone or mobile, you can change the quality of the playback, or if you're watching it on TV or whatever your other device is, a tablet maybe, you can always change the quality of the playback. So hopefully it's coming okay. Skull Peter wants to know why I say expat and not immigrant. So they are quite similar things. I do have residency here in Russia. I'm not technically migrating here as in moving here, although I do live here and I've lived here for a lot of years. An expat is generally considered someone that's moved to another place for the reason of work or business, or basically expanding their horizons. I guess it's very similar description of a person. And then there's a lot of argument that a certain person living in another country to work is an immigrant versus an expat. So I consider myself an expatriate versus an immigrant personally, but that's just the way I say it. Peter, hello, one of the channel members here. Yeah, if anybody does want to support the channel, there is the donation alerts link in the pinned comment or also in the description. It'll come up as a message, or you can put it anonymous. It's completely up to you. I'll read it out, and if it's a question, of course, I'll answer it to the best of my ability, as usual, right? I mean, that's what I do. If anyone, depending on where you live in the world, you might have the option to do super chats or super stickers. I keep getting those mixed up. And then if you're watching a video any time of the day or night, 24 hours a day, there's super thanks. And that does happen on videos from, I'll probably say every few days or so. Not very often, but some people do appreciate my videos, I guess, or I think. So yeah, Peter, hello. Now, again, my wife isn't here today, so I can't read the Russian. And then I can't read if someone's got a Russian name. Adequate Xiaomi guy. Good evening, Russell. Yes, this is you. And actually, where I'm looking at my donation alert text box, the last donations were, well, they were all 6 days ago, and then one was 5 days ago. I'm not sure how that worked. Maybe because it ticked over midnight when we did the live stream. Claudio, hello. Yo, what's up, Russell? Not a lot today. I stayed home today. I had to arrange helping my wife put new curtains up in her nail salon. If anyone doesn't know, we were doing some renovating in there. We did wallpapering, we did new skirting boards, and then we've changed some of the furniture from some of the old furniture that was there for many, many years before my wife had the salon. She inherited basically all the things that were in it as part of taking it over. And we're now down to the last piece of furniture in there that wasn't originally in there, which is a clothes rack. So when you come in and take your coat off, you put it on a coat hanger and hang it up. And that's still there. But I hung curtains today in the windows as you walk in. There's curtains for the windows looking out of the building. And then as you come in, there's a glass wall. And we put curtains on the other side. We had them change the length of the curtains. And then I put rails up or rods. So yeah, that was my day today. And then we had some friends visit overnight as well. And then they went home earlier this evening. They kind of came. My wife's friend had a bit of a stayover because they live quite a fair way from here. So it was really nice for them to visit and hang out. William, hello. Hello, William. Jet Yassin, hello. Glad to see you. You wasn't streaming almost a week. Yes. Yeah, so I was going. What was happening on Sunday? Why didn't I do one on Sunday night? There was something going on that I couldn't do, and I didn't do a live stream Sunday night. Normally, I was doing them once a week on Saturday or Sundays. So I thought I'd jump back in again today. So yeah, it was 6 days ago. 6 days ago is when my wife was on the live stream, and then a couple of days earlier, Sam was on the live stream. That was 8 days ago. I'm just using the donation alert. It's got like a little date and time set up there. So Salah, hello. +10 in Krakow, Poland. Nice. Polish cabbage. My mum is my grandparents, who are now passed away, are Polish or were Polish, and my mum was born in England to Polish parents. They emigrated to Poland after the Second World War. So my mum still cooks Polish food. I have a nice channel. Thank you, Gorky. Thank you so much. Gorky Park. Haven't been there recently. Every time I seem to go to Gorky Park, especially over winter, it's like the coldest day in history that I go there. And I've done it like 3 times now. And I kind of have this good intention of going there to make a video and film and walk around. And it's so cold when I get there that I can barely take my glove off to get my camera in my hand. Valentine, hello. Lots of thumbs ups. Thank you so much. Let me just scroll this other one over here because it's coming up 2 chats. So I can see the same chat twice. From Greenwood, Indiana. William. Oh, hello, William again. What was your laundry day when you were working on a raft? I was working on cruise ships. I did my laundry on port days when we were in port. So imagine you were in the Caribbean and then you went to the Bahamas or Turks and Caicos, or maybe you went to Cozumel, Mexico on the cruise, and then you don't get off the ship that day and you do your laundry. I'm not sure if that's the question, but Louise, hello. Blogging trucker, hello in New York, or maybe you're somewhere else. Do you still need any money via super chats? Well, that's really up to people who watch the channel. I don't. I just explain that it's available. It's part of the channel. It's part of people watching YouTubers and who want to do super chats and donations. I don't pressure or, I must raise this amount of money. I need this amount of money. I'm buying this. I'm in need of something. I've got nothing on the desk just to show you in my hand. So if people do help the channel, it all goes back into the channel. So actually, I've got my this is my what do you call these little microphones that you plug in, these little lavalier mics. So this is something that I got while I was in Australia back in November. So this is basically fan funded, pretty much where I figure that super chats come or donation alerts, it goes towards buying something for the channel. And it's just an easier way for me to think of where that money's gone to. You know, if someone wants me to go tomorrow and, I don't know, buy a Lada Niva, of course, I can go and do that if you wish. Tech Pick, hello from the UK. Oh, nice. Tech Pick. Kurt, hello. Good evening from Bruges, Belgium. Wow, I love Golain chocolate. I've not had it for a while either. I've been eating so much Russian chocolate that I've not had any Golain chocolate. I also wait for it to come on special. Golain chocolate in Russia is not cheap compared to other places. Sergey, do you think Sanctioned Ivan is honest and decent after his latest vlogs? I know Sanctioned Ivan. I've not seen him for quite a while. When he first came back to Turkey, we met and went out a couple of times. I messaged him, or he messaged me occasionally on Telegram. I mean, he lives not too far from me down the road. I think he lives in his grandparents' house from watching his videos. They live in, well, it's about 20 minutes further down the road, maybe half an hour, depending on which direction or the traffic and things like that. So, I mean, I noticed his last few videos, he's been doing sit-down videos where he's talking to the camera and talking through different discussion points. It's definitely different from his other videos on his channel. I mean, I'm not confident in doing that type of a video where I talk specifically about a topic, unless it's something that I genuinely know about. Let me say I know about retail, I know about cruise ships. I was nearly 20 years working on cruise ships. I can make entire videos about it, or talking about certain topics about cruise ships and life on ships and things like that. I couldn't do that about certain events that are happening in Russia or in other countries right now. Someone actually contacted me recently asking if I wanted to come on a Russian TV show talking about the Australian Prime Minister and Anthony Albanese. And do I want to talk about him? And I'm like, well, I explained to them that, you know, I'm not political in my YouTube channel. And I've been away out of Australia so long that I'm really out of touch with what's happening on a day-to-day basis in Australian politics, or what would come on the news as daily events. And it's really impossible to talk about it from an Australian point of view when I've lived so many years outside of Australia, you know. So, you know, I think for Ivan or Ivan, it's really up to him to how he comes across in his explanation of his topics that he chooses. He's very young, you know, so, you know, it's very different to watching or listening to somebody else who's a lot older, who lives in Russia, who's lived through a lot more different times in Russian history. So I think it's, you know, a different type of channel that he's heading the channel down to what he was doing, where he was doing vlogging videos. Personally, I kind of like his vlogging videos more than his serious ones, but that's just his choice. Hello, American living in Izakaz. Izakaz? I don't know this place name. Crystal, living in Russia for over 4 years. Nice. Crystal Smith, hello. If anyone wants to join me on Telegram at some point, by the way, I have a Telegram channel called Traveling with Russell Channel. The link's in the description always. You're welcome to chat over there. Basically, when you go to the channel, put a comment below a post and it'll take you to a chat. We currently have over 700 people in the chat, and the channel has over 2,000 people. Khadija, hello. Good afternoon and evening, everybody. Yes, 10 p.m. on the dot here in Moscow right now. I just looked at my clock there. Hello. Oh, what happened there? Oh, you typed in Russian? Anu Joshu. Hello world. I can do like translate on the other browser. You recognize my nickname. That's so cool. Yes, I can highlight the name or the word, and then it'll translate into English. So I can literally have to do that every time going back and forward, but just for the occasional one that comes up. Hello, Cadiz, and we have one more here. Hello, Russell. What have we got? Ilya Grizin. Здравствуйте, Ilya. Do you know Russian language? Sergio wants to know. If you want to type to somebody, you can put the @ symbol, then start typing a few letters of their name, and then you can then type afterwards, and it highlights on their screen. If you want to do that to type to other people. Oh my gosh, the chat has gone crazy, and I'm way behind. How many degrees Celsius is it right now? Says Peter. It's -7 Celsius. I didn't look what the real temperature is. Basically, it's interesting. My phone has one temperature, and then it tells me in another one. Oh, there you go, -8. -8, and it feels like -14. And this time yesterday, it was -3. So yeah, with the blue skies, and once it clears up, the weather, it gets much colder. With those things, I hope you have a great weekend as well. Thank you. Yeah, it's only Tuesday. Well, tomorrow is Wednesday, of course, or by the time we finish. Yes, I really wanted to. My wife's been wanting to do this for quite a while, so it was only appropriate that we get it sorted finally. It's just a matter of now, we need to change the clock on the wall, and we suggested that the bit of material that was cut off for hemming the curtains, we're going to take that little swatch of material with us when we go out, so we can try and match the color of the clock with the curtains. Scorpio, hello. I think that's St. Petersburg. I think maybe you're in St. Petersburg. Oh, Soul Moon is also in the same place. Wow. Why do you went to Russia? Well, my wife is Russian, so it made sense. She invited me here before we got married when we met, and she told me to come here. So yeah, we're here because of that. A fellow Aussie living in Athens, Greece. Constantine, hello. G'day, let me say. We're putting flowers all over Moscow and crying for that guy recently. Yeah, I guess Darth Son, some people have opinions about different politicians and leaders or whatever he was considered at the time. And people mourn for different people, right? I mean, people pass away and people mourn for those people. And that's their choice to do that. Good evening, Russell over here. Hey, Russell. Mott. Oh, hello, Mott. I know you're a long-time watcher of the channel. Carlson vlog was awesome. Thank you. Yes, let me catch up to the chat. How do hands up in Russia? I'm not sure. Hands up. Also, I got my nails done today too. My wife obviously has a nail salon. I think they still look good. But yeah, she did my nails. Probably my fingers are a bit dirty from doing the cleaning and things like that later on today. But love the Carlson walkabout. Ulia. Oh, thank you as well. Ulia von Kruger. Thank you. Blogging Truckers in New York. Yes. How do you hands up? We are going to Europe from March 28th to April. Oh, you're going to Europe. Maybe you're going to go on a cruise in Europe? That would be pretty cool. Is tipping a common practice in Russia or in Moscow? Not really, no. If you go to some sit-down restaurants with waiters, people do leave tips. It's not expected, but people do. But it's not expected. I guess that's the right thing to say. Video of that supermarket went grocery shopping. Have I made one? Yes, I made one a long time ago, but I don't know which one it was because I was doing the Russian supermarket under sanctions titles. So I'm going to go back there and make a specific one about that particular location because it seems like everybody's curious about that particular one he went to. Featuring the different Moscow metro stations. Yes, that's another video. I should definitely do that while it's cold weather because it's much warmer in the metro, right? It's like heated in there. It probably makes sense to do those while the weather's like that. Kimberly Oakley, hello from Tennessee. Hello. We don't read the chat. He doesn't read the chat. I am reading the chat. I'm not sure how to hand up in Russia. I'm not sure that means. Hand up. Hello, Russell, VG. Greetings from, hello, VG. Hello. Greetings from Pennsylvania, the west coast of Scotland. Wow. Always a pleasure to see your videos. Expos are brilliant. Shops are interesting. Great that you have a different variety of Russian life. Thank you, Jack. Yes, I like doing the different videos as well. The only problem is it kind of can be like a big high and then a big low and a big high on the views of every video. I mean, I know that some videos get less views than others, and I've got to just take that as it is. And that's just how it is. I mean, if I do an expo video and it gets 10 or 20,000 views, it does. I'm happy to take that on the chin, as that's the video I like to make, and I'm still showing life in Russia. Time for an S24. The quality of footage from that phone is amazing. I would love to get one, Anu. It would have to be probably from donation alerts and super chats. I don't think my wife really is the next person to get a phone between the two of us. She's not had a new phone for many, many, many years. She's got the S8 Samsung. So it's really her turn to get a phone, not me. Well, I don't go to gyms, so that would really be other people. There is plenty of people that do walking videos in Russia and walking videos in Moscow. At the moment when it's winter and minus 10 or 15 or 20 outside, you can't really get a good idea what people are dressed like, because they're just dressed up in big, rugged clothes. Probably more in summertime, it's better to do that kind of video. But he is slowly going through and reads all the comments. Yes, correct. Thank you. That's very true. Nico, Peter, how are you? I'm doing well, Peter. Thank you. There's a rumor that YouTube will be banned in. Oh my gosh, there's a rumor every week. It's been for how many years, the rumor? Years and years and years. My gosh. Not in the YouTube app. Oh, if you're watching it on your phone, only works in the browser, not in the YouTube app. Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Why don't you try Russian food, beer, etc.? It would be utmost interesting. It would be. I don't go out to restaurants very often. We eat at home a lot, more than we go out. Definitely that's the case. And I need to go do maybe one of the Russian fast food restaurant kind of videos. Elkas 11:04. I guess that's the time difference. It's 11 o'clock in the morning. Good to see you live. Thank you, good Leo. Yes, cheers. What's the cost of the car there? Like a Toyota? I don't know the price of cars here. I've been to a couple of dealerships in videos, but I've not been to a Toyota. There's a Toyota dealership on the main highway where I live here. Although it says it's closed and left Russia, it's definitely open, and there's a Toyota sign and there's cars there. What's up, man? Sergio, Ara. You should have went on Russian TV. They were embracing all who support Russia. Put a face on Russia. I mean, I really would. If I was to do that, I'm really going to go on something that suits what I do as a channel, or something, I don't know, like a cooking show, or I don't know, something where they talk about Russian expats in Russia and things like that. Not something that sort of sways the conversation. Thank you, David. Good one. Greetings from Finland, Mr. Jamo. Oh, hello. How are you? Kifia. Please like the stream. Yes, good idea. If anyone wants to do that, good. And more should meet him. Thank you. 105 likes. Thank you so much. Yeah, Russia is in Europe. Yeah, there's a lot of. Every time I talk about this, people say it's not. Especially when I did the videos at the shopping center Avia Park, which is the biggest shopping center in Europe. And then people quickly say that it's not. 2.2 million, Sergio says, for a Toyota Corolla, or a new Toyota anyway. 2 million to 2.5 million. Why do Russians don't like root beer? Have you ever drank root beer? Yes, I've definitely had root beer in America. I've had it in Australia too. Working on cruise ships, we had root beer a lot. It's not a normal drink here. It's not a Russian drink. It's not a Russian soda or sugary gassy drink. So that's why they don't really know about it, and probably only ever drunk it if they've ever had like Barg's root beer or whatever different brands there are. Can you fly to the US, Moscow from Russia? Yes, you can. Not directly because it's too far, but you could fly with Emirates Airlines, Etihad Airlines, Qatar Airways. So you'd fly through the Middle East. So you'd go, let's say, Los Angeles to Dubai, Dubai to Moscow, very, very easily. It's really incredibly easy. Different cultures. Greetings from an Aussie living in France, David Alexander. Wow, Aussies it's really true. Aussies are everywhere. Anytime we watch a sporting event of Australia competing overseas, there's some Aussies in the crowd. Yes, root beer float. How long have you been living in Moscow? Is your wife from Russia? Yes, she's from Ufa. It's in Bashkortostan, or east of Russia, east of Moscow, let's call it. Living here on and off for about 10 years in total since I first came. I was working on cruise ships at the time, so I was still flying back to work in America, flying back to Russia. So I still had to do my real life things. Does Google Pay work in Russia? I think it doesn't. So it depends. If people need to do banking with their phone, you can obviously use the banking apps for Russian banks, and then you can do, like, you can tap your phone to pay for something with the app. The ones that they do now, they've got like on the cash registers, they put up a QR code. So you do a screen grab of the QR code and it leads straight to your bank app, and then you pay with that. It's really very cool to do that. Yeah, root beer float. Yes, Russell and Yevgenia. Anya, Russell, thanks, mate. Yeah, cheers. Anya, Sonia. Are you alone? Well, tonight I am because my wife's in bed because it's 10 o'clock. How do you hang out in Russia? I don't do much. Most of the time when I hang out, I go to Moscow somewhere and make videos. And I consider most of the place that I go to hanging out. So checking in. Good evening. Oh, Babel Cruising. Hello. Another channel member here. A couple of channel members tonight. You've got 2 Australian friends in Sydney. Yeah, Sydney's probably the most populated city in Australia in terms of population of the different cities. Sydney, then Melbourne, I guess Perth or Brisbane, I'm not sure. Blex in Germany. Hello. Go to Globus Supermarket a lot. I go there a lot because it's convenient and it's at the shopping center when I get the bus from where I live to Moscow. So the shopping center has Globus. So loads of people, particularly in the evenings when they're coming home from work, they come through the metro station there. They go into the shopping center, go to the supermarket, get some food, and then get a bus and go home, or however they're going home from there. Do you remember me? I loved the live stream with you and your wife. Have you ever met a famous person? I've ever met a famous person. I used to work at the airport in Perth in Australia, and sometimes some of the sports stars walked through there. I met Alan Border, who was Australian cricket captain, when I was still in school. My dad knew the New Zealand wicketkeeper at the time for New Zealand, and they were playing in Perth against Australia. And we went to meet him at the hotel after the match. And the Australians and New Zealanders stayed at the same hotel. And when we went there, in the lobby was Dean Jones, Alan Border. Oh my gosh, I don't remember who else was there. There was a few of them all sitting around. And then we went to the hotel room of the New Zealand players, and I met Sir Richard Hadley. If you know cricket, it all makes sense. I've met, well, not really met. I guess people came on the cruise ship. Oh, Paul Roos's parents, who was an Australian footballer. It's not really famous person. Russian famous people, I don't know. I probably have met them and I have no idea who they are, or they've been in the same place I've been to and I didn't know that as well. I'm not very what do you get when you get starstruck when you meet somebody? I'm not like that really when I meet somebody. It's kind of cool for a minute, and then I realize they're the same people as I am, and we're in the same place. The cameras are amazing. I've checked it out. I've looked at it in the store. I made that walkthrough partly when I made the video. I've been and looked at it a couple of times in the store. I don't really want to keep walking in and looking at it and not wanting to get it. because I don't really like going window shopping. I do it in videos, but I don't like doing it in real life. Guide for foreigners visiting Russia. That would be kind of cool. I'd love to do that. That'd be a perfect job for me. Paid shopping tour guide for foreigners visiting Russia. Yeah, I guess I could take them to different places. I had like a little bit of a bus that had a driver that took us to the places. Changing content for the last election. There's always content removed depending on where they are. Yes, I guess that happens. That ginger chick. Thank you for commenting. Elkus, would you drive in Russia if you had a car? Yes, I've driven in Russia. We've done car rentals. They've got the ones that you can rent cars from an app on your phone called ride sharing. So I get a Belka car. I normally we don't do it very often. We'll just go to the shopping center or we'll go to the local shops where I live. If there's a car in my area, and it's a few rubles per minute, like 10 or 12 rubles a minute to rent it. When you have eye surgery, I've never had eye surgery. My wife says I'm now too old, she thinks, to have the LASIK surgery. We love you. Thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you so much. And a heart. Cheers. I feel bad sometimes when I'm replying to a comment on YouTube posts or YouTube videos, because I don't know from looking at you're depressed, I guess is your channel name. I don't know if it's a man or a woman, and I put a heart on there, and I feel bad sometimes. I might be hearting a man's comment. Do they sell British Heinz baked beans? Yes. Actually, if you went back about a week, I guess it was it this Sunday? No, last Sunday. For sure it was last Sunday. We did baked beans and bacon for breakfast. And I had Heinz baked beans in a can. So yes, you can buy it here. You can get Heinz ketchup or tomato sauce. Hoping to get back sometime when things settle down. Yeah, no worries. I'm from Ufa too. Oh, Darius, hello. Здравствуйте. Yeah, my wife is from Davlekanova, which is Ufa region. She was actually born in Ufa, but her parents and grandparents are from Davlekanova, but she was born in Ufa. But they're from there. How's my YouTube income? It's okay. It's not amazing. A lot of it depends greatly on how many people are watching from Russia, which is very high because, of course, my videos are shown to people in Russia, and there's no ads shown for Russian viewers. So it doesn't help if you've got a very high Russian percentage of viewers because you're not earning any revenue from videos. And some videos can be 70, 80, 90% Russian viewers, and some videos can be very low, like under 50%. So if you've got a video with 70 or 80% Russian viewers, basically you're only getting ad revenue from 20 or 30% of the video. They really say that drinking vodka instead of water there. Yeah, it's not a thing. Vodka's cheap in the store, though. You can buy a cheap bottle and drink it. People aren't just doing that, though. I mean, I'm sure there's people who do drink and do drink alcohol in excess and things like that, but I'm going to say the average person doesn't do that. I mean, I'd say for things like birthdays or weddings or different holidays in Russia, people do drink more on those occasions, but that's it. How many Russian subscribers have you got on YouTube and Telegram? I don't really know the breakdown on Telegram. Pretty much everybody types in English in my Telegram channel or chat, because that's the whole point of the chat. Not necessarily that people can't type in Russian, they can. It's just easier that they type in English. It's 8:15 in Budapest. Or Budapest, sorry. Thank you, Bebel. They show up on your screen, but I can't get them to show up on my screen. And I did add another one, right? I added one of the buildings in Moscow as one of the icons. Port Magog, North Wales. Cremo Llewellyn. Hello. Simoro Llewellyn. Port Mad Dog. Or Porth Mad Dog. Sorry, I'm really butchering that. Huge fan of your videos here from the UK. Thank you, Dylan. Adventures in Aviation. Cheers. Globus is a German franchise like in Hungary Spa. We have Eurospa here as well. I've made videos in a couple of different Eurospas. Globus is German, yes, very much German. And then Ashan, which is the one where Tucker Carlson was, is French. And then if you really watch the video, it's very strange because I showed Pitorichka. Oh, sorry, Perry Krostok. And I'm curious why he didn't go there and he went to Ashan, but I guess that's... will I do videos way out of the center of Russia? If there's a way that it can be funded to go and do that and just literally get on a plane and go, then yes. Otherwise, my wife and I at the moment, we're trying our best to try and buy an apartment. And we're saving all our pennies to put forward a deposit to go with probably a mortgage for an apartment. How about problems with your videos? I mean, sometimes you have a little freeze moments when you record a video. Is that related to your phone settings? I'm not sure about that. I know people mention it from time to time. When I watch the videos back, I don't see that. I see it sometimes like jittery when I do like a pan around. That's why I try and do things a little bit slower. I'm not like jiggling around everywhere. Yeah, I mean, I do now realize I've got to switch off my... I put my phone on airplane mode when I'm filming, so it doesn't interrupt like the Wi-Fi or a signal or a call and things like that. When's the next video? The next video is coming in roughly 2 days. Not tomorrow, at least the next day. My day was good. It was quiet. We had a friend stay over last night, and then her husband came to pick her up. My wife's best friend, ultimately. So... and then I helped put some curtains up, or I put the curtains up, not helped, I did it myself. So yeah, it was good. Serbian, I can't read Russian. If you're typing the same thing twice, I can't read it. So I'm going to skip over. Great. Which are the 3 biggest sports in Australia? Golf, well, walking, golf, and tennis. The technically 3 biggest sports in terms of participation. And then I would say Aussie rules football, rugby league, rugby union. In terms of national sports, that will be televised and have professional players. But walking, golf, and tennis. No, I don't listen to any music at all. Occasionally, I'll put a song on YouTube, like an old YouTube, like music video. Pretty much if I listen to the radio with my headphones on, if I go out somewhere, I'll just put a talkback radio channel on and listen to talkback sport or talkback radio from Australia. Bruce, I'm doing well. Thanks. How are you doing, buddy? I'm doing good today. Balalaika. I don't have a balalaika. I can't play one either. Thanks for the great videos. Very positive. Thank you, Powerwolf. Thank you. And a thank you for 145 likes for everybody. Thank you for people who have done comments on the poll. 29% of people haven't watched the Tucker Carlson video. It's not about him per se. It's about the places where he went to while he made 3 separate videos in Russia. I think one is publicly available and the others are behind a paywall, is what people get telling me. They're behind a paywall. But I think if you've got access to Telegram or whatever different social medias, you can pretty much see all 3 of them. He did one where he talked about the metro, which is where I started my video from. And then he's done a separate one where he went to Kuznye Tochka, which is what used to be McDonald's. And then he's done one at the supermarket, which I think that's the one that's got the most reaction to that separate video. And some people reacted to that video. So, yeah. Russia, you need to speak more Russian. I do. Yes, I agree. 119,000 rubles, Mr. Jamo. Oh, that's A20. I guess S24. A24. 1,199 euros. Yes, my wife is really the next person in line to get a phone. Unless there is like an angel who comes down to click donation alerts or, I don't know, PayPal or whatever these different things are. I probably won't be getting the next phone. Because my wife would kill me if I got one before she did. More importantly, where he didn't go, a Russian-owned grocery store that was super stocked up. Yes. Yeah, that's just the one, Jackie. That's the one thing that I really am a bit curious of. I mean, did the people that he were with just took him to any supermarket? Did they take him to the one map maybe where they live and just wanted to show him a bigger hypermarket? I mean, of course, Ashans are normally 2 levels. So the upstairs area is all the non-grocery, and then downstairs is all the grocery part. I mean, when I went there on the weekend, what day did I go there? Saturday. Now Saturday? Yeah, because I went out in the evening. So yeah, Saturday afternoon. It's always much busier on Saturdays and Sundays. That particular location is always busy kind of every day you go there, because it's got a lot of housing nearby, and it's got a metro, trams. It's got the Moscow Central Circle, the overland train. Actually, that's how I got there. I didn't go by metro. So, I mean, why he went there? Maybe just because it's considered a cheaper supermarket. Perikrostock is kind of a middle-income supermarket. So not every Russian goes to Perikrostock. Beautiful supermarket, beautiful selection. I mean, still very reasonably priced. But then there's some things that are more expensive that you can buy cheaper somewhere else. You should totally try going live when walking around Moscow. Yes, or Russia. I want to try it and want to see if I can definitely do it without either killing the quality of the live stream, or as long as the internet keeps up with it. Could you talk more about where he should have gone? Maybe he should have gone to places like in Moscow anyway. Maybe to Gorky Park. Maybe to Muzon Park is the one next to it. Maybe he should have gone just a little bit further down from Red Square to I don't know the name. Forgot the name of the park there, right by Red Square. The one where there's the walkout over the river. I mean, why he went to Kiev railway station to make that starting. I stood literally just one footpath over from where he actually did his starting part of the video. He stood right by the taxis, and I stood on the other side of the footpath, on the other footpath, which is logical. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice area there. It's much nicer in summer than winter, because that park there, and then the river is right nearby, and then the bridge you can walk over and then go up to Arbat Street. It's a beautiful walk. That it's actually any time of the year you can do that walk, but it's a nice walk that direction. It's actually nice to go from Arbat Street down to Kiev, because it's all downhill a little. And then from where, if you notice that part where I filmed in the middle of the street where you can see Moscow City in the distance, you can basically reach that by walking up that road about, 30 minutes. And then you come to the river, and then you cross another kind of walk bridge, a Bagatron bridge, which has got shops in the middle of it as you walk over, and then you come out into Moscow City. So yeah, go to Moscow City and just see the skyscrapers. And there's no Ashan there, but he could have gone to another Perikrostock. What's the supermarket in there? There's definitely a few different supermarkets in Moscow City. So that's something he could have done, just to show the skyscrapers and how big they look. There's a few different Russian comments here. I can't read them, so I'm sorry. I'm going to skip over them. Or lots. So yeah, there's a lot of different places where it would have been more beautiful, I guess. I mean, I guess in winter, it's hard to show the beauty. I mean, the day I was there, I think the weather looked kind of similar to the day he was there. Maybe he filmed them on 2 days apart from each other, not the same day. Have you watched Wolf Creek? A long time ago. Horror movie, yes. I don't really like horror movies, personally. Saw, I'm not into them movies. How's the egg problem? There is no problem, Peter. There's eggs everywhere in Russia. It's not a problem at all. As I showed in the video. What I'll do, I'll see if I can get quickly through this chat, and we'll just talk about that video, because I think it's kind of interesting. Jackie, thank you for the super chat, or super sticker, and the number 1. Well, your first super on a live stream. I don't know if anybody, I can't see it on my chat, but when you guys see the super chat roll by, you can put a thumbs up on someone's super chat now. I don't know if anyone knows that or not, but you can if you want to. and then they get thumbs ups for the amount, or well, I don't know, people can put lots. Don't get yes, Russian people don't. Yes, if I watch YouTube in Russia, I don't get any adverts. So it doesn't help Russian, well, creators in Russia who create YouTube videos that will get shown to Russian audiences. How much for the Tesla that took your breath away? I never, the funny thing was, Darth, I never asked the price of the cars the entire time I was there. And the ultimate car salesman never talks about the price to the customer of the car until they kind of say they want it. So I never actually asked the price of the cars. I wasn't that bothered. I realized at the end that I hadn't. And that bit where I asked the guy the questions, I filmed that at the end of the video, not earlier when I first got there. And we talked about it at the time that I didn't ask about the prices. Davlekanover is a 2-horse town. Yes, it's a very small place. Huge bread and bread factory there. And it's now not fully operational. Thank you for your videos. Always glad to see you in Moscow. You bring the love to our country. Thank you so much. That's super nice of you. Thank you. So I don't know what a Groth Institute is, so I don't know if we have one or not to learn Russian. I don't know if they do. Thank you, Peter, for the super sticker or super chat without a comment. Thank you so much. That's super nice of you. And Jackie, and thank you also, Jackie. So 2 thank yous. I'll just thank everybody twice. Come to Nizhny Novgorod. Thank you, SberBank. I should. In Vladivostok. All age. A lot of people are interested in Russia nowadays. Yeah, I think it's a bit of a trending topic generally. Do you want to do a video in Prigorozh Lesnoy? I don't know this area. Prigorozh Lesnoy, Pod Moscow. Suburb area in Moscow. I really want to do more apartment tours. That's what I'd like to do. More apartment tours. If anyone in Moscow has an apartment and they're willing to let me go and film in your apartment, it's not to go and just show what you have. It's to show the apartment as a Russian typical apartment. So anyone wants to contact me on Telegram or through an email, I'll be more than happy to come. How will Russia survive without Louis Vuitton and all the brands? I heard Ferrari now leaving Russia. These are all available in Russia. You can go to a department store in Moscow called Sum. So there's Gum and Sum. And in Sum, you can buy these brands still. There is multi-brand watch stores in Gum, which is the big department store, shopping center right by Red Square that you can go in and buy a Rolex. Ferrari, you can still go to car dealerships that have multi-brand car dealerships. So they sell, like there's luxury car resellers that have Ferraris. So they're definitely available. What's your favorite thing about Russia? That's very tough to answer because there's a lot of things I love. I like the fact I can make YouTube videos very easily. It's more difficult in Australia than it is here. Put it that way. I was trying like mad to make them in Australia, particularly supermarket videos, and it was impossible to do them because of laws. Whereas here I can just film freely, anything I like. Adequate Xiaomi guy. Here is half step to your crazy Russian idea. Crazy idea trademarked. Yes. 2370. I just before I went to do the live stream, I thought about updating that JPEG, that downloaded image I've got with that tells you the price divided by everybody. And I was thinking with the new amount of subscribers, it would be appropriate to recorrect the number. And I'm sure it's less than 4752 now, or 2377 is half. So thank you, Adequate Xiaomi guy. Back in Black or Highway to Hell? I guess Highway to Hell. If anyone doesn't know, in Perth, Australia, where I'm from, Canning Highway is a main road or main artery that runs through Perth. And that is what is Highway to Hell, Canning Highway. So that's, I know Canning Highway very well. Aussie rules and cricket. Yes. Probably the most internationally known sports in Australia. Music. My wife has Spotify, and I don't even have any clue what her most popular songs are on there or what she listens to. She's got an Australian Spotify account that I set up and pay for every month through my card in Australia, and I have no idea what she listens to. So if I listen to music, it might be some U2. That's about all. I'm in my 40s, Peter. In my 40s. Do you drink vodka? I don't drink vodka. Even at people's houses when I get invited, I don't. Yeah, when we went to a friend's house for New Year, and then we went to their same house again for a birthday, I didn't. Having kids. Do you have any kids from previous relationship? No, neither of us have kids. We don't have any plan to have kids at the moment. We want to get a cat first, and then kids, but no plan of it. I haven't been to Sochi at all, so I don't know much about Sochi. Did you actually see the Putin-Tucker interview? I have not seen it, Peter. Still, I haven't watched it. My wife watched it, and she said I should just watch it myself. She thought it was quite boring, actually, because it went on a lot about history, and she wasn't overly excited watching it. Which cities could you see till now? I've been to Ufa and St. Petersburg. Can you find an apartment in Moscow for 4 million rubles? You can find a small one, probably something more like a studio apartment for 4 million, $40,000. There's not many of them. Then wouldn't be in Moscow, maybe in Moscow region, so a little bit further out of the center of Moscow. It costs $10 to make it. I think it's about 100. It's about 100 or 110,000, depending on which S24. I think it's like $1,100 or $1,200. It's about the same price in dollars as it is in rubles. So 110 or 120,000 rubles. How did your relatives in Australia react to you moving to Russia? They're okay with it. My mum wasn't as happy because she thought after cruise ships that I'd come to Australia after COVID, and that was it. I was ready to settle down, and that was my ultimate retirement from cruise ships. And then obviously we chose to come back to Russia, mostly because my wife had some medical issues at the time. So yeah, they all know I'm here. They all know I'm fine. I was away working on cruise ships for so many years that I wasn't ultimately in Australia even the last 20 years. So what do you think about baseball? It's the highest paid athlete at $700 million. I used to watch it when I was working on cruise ships. It was on TV on the different channels. I haven't watched any while I've been here at all. So saving money for your apartment. Thank you, Mark. Yes, that's the goal, is to save. Well, the more we can save for a deposit, the less money we need to borrow from the bank. And then the plan is to pay it off realistically in 3 or 5 years maximum. 3 or 5 years maximum. Was it hard to convince your family in Australia that it was a good move? They knew I'd worked on cruise ships for so many years that I was never really in Australia. And as soon as I got home from contracts, I'd go on holiday to Bali. And then I'd come home from Bali. Then I'd get on the plane and fly back to cruise ships again in America or wherever the ship was around the world. So they already knew that I was never really settled in Australia. Anyone from North Wales? I'm not sure. Do you eat bears? No bears with vodka. That's so cliche of Russia. Greetings from Moscow. Dean, hello. Stumbled upon your channel. Thank you. I've not been to Siberia, no. Bears cause indigestion, yes. Some more Westerners wants to continue doing business in Russia. There's a lot of companies still doing business here. A lot more than what people realize. Nelly, hello. Also a channel administrator, or is that what they're called? Channel admin? I don't know what the name is. It looks like New York, those skyscrapers. Yes. Yeah, it's crazy when you stand under them. And Dixie. That's a very, yeah, he could have gone to a Dixie supermarket. Oh, this is, it wasn't up to Tucker where he went in Moscow. It was all planned by his Moscow security team where he visited. I'd find that hard to believe, because even when you looked at him walking in the supermarket, I think most people didn't really know had no idea who he was. and it looks like another guy filming another guy walking around. The security team, I guess they probably were maybe a bodyguard or maybe, a security team, as they put it. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe they're just random places. They just happen to be places I know very, very well. Whoops. Oh, hello, Lipudex. Hello there. Nelly, hello. When will you visit Turkey, Russell? If you invite me and send me a ticket, I'll happily come. It's a very popular, well, it was a very popular place for Russians to go visit, especially to escape the cold weather in Russia. But the price have basically ballooned a lot mostly because of the Turkish Airlines. That was the main airline that flew in and out of there, but it's now become the main airline that people use to commute through Europe. So that it's pushed the prices up a lot. There's a lot of other airlines still flying to Turkey, though. And a lot of people do charters. So they do like all-inclusive hotels with the flight and the connection. For me personally, I mean, it's not that much more to go to Bali or Thailand than it is to go to some European cities at the moment. Jackie says she loves my apartment tours. Yes, it's very difficult to get approval or get a real estate agent who's willing to let me film a video. So that's the biggest problem with trying to do more of them. Literally, I would love to ask everybody in my building, can I just come and film your apartment? We don't have any plan how long we're going to stay here. Do you have kids? We don't have any kids, no. Did you get the job? I'm not sure what job I was getting. Or jab. I've definitely got the COVID vaccine, yes. Two doses. I think in Australia now they're up to 4 or 5 doses. Thank you, Ted. I'll go look up what a cow costs. I'll let you know in another video. Can you have a backyard fire there? If I had a house with a backyard, yes. You can have a barbecue, absolutely. I live in an apartment block, so maybe you can do a video on his Russian watch store. I have no idea where he buys his watches from. If you want to show his apartment, yeah, I know where his building is. I've not been to it personally, but I know where it is. I don't think, has he ever disclosed where it is? I don't think so. Even when I knew Inside Russia or Konstantin, I know where he lives as well, but we don't really talk about where we specifically live. I guess you can watch my videos from when I've filmed where I live and know the building. I don't think people are that bothered about rolling back 3 years. I mean, I think the rest of the world wants to take back the years they've lost when COVID had the lockdowns. And that's everybody in the whole world kind of lost a whole year and a half or so. So I think that's everybody in the world. What is your favorite Russian cuisine? I guess I like pilmeni. I know that's really, my wife doesn't make it. We buy it frozen from the supermarket, but it's basically a very quintessential favorite of all Russians who like it. So, is it dangerous and you get thrown in jail? Johnny, not at all. No, it's not dangerous. There's no problems whatsoever living here. It's really it's like living in any other country in the world. Something can happen. You can do something silly. Thank you for the super sticker, Jackie. Thank you for the heart. I can see the heart I can't do it. How can people always do them so well when they do it on TV? Thank you so much. $9.99. I very much appreciate your super sticker. Jackie, Peter, and Adequate Xiaomi guy. Thank you for donation alerts. When I click over to that, it highlights and stars it. And when you go back to the screen, you lose your spot. I think I've gotten past all this, haven't I? Yeah, I have done. Oh my gosh. Sorry, everybody. Our steaks $40. They're like here. No, they're not. If you went to if you went to a normal restaurant, you'd be looking at $10, $15, 1,000, 1,500 rubles, maybe. No, nowhere close to $40 is 4,000 rubles. Nowhere close. Or $40 American is 4,000 rubles. I mean, I guess you can find the best steak, whatever this, 21-day dry age something or other in a luxury restaurant, but in an average place, not a chance. I post it without actually enforce any of the laws if you did it without permission. I can't imagine. Right, exactly. That was the thing in the end, and I just didn't bother filming because I was just kind of upset that I emailed and asked different PR parts of the Coles and Woolies stuff, and then my wife said, just walk in and film, and I'm like, I don't really want to anymore. So thank you for the responses. You're welcome. Your accent is a dead giveaway. Really? For Perth? Russia has. Did you graduate any university? No, I didn't even finish high school. I finished only till year 10 of high school in Australia, which is the secondary certificate. I didn't complete up to year 12, which would be the TEE exams. I think it's tertiary entrance exams. I didn't even do that. You're from Sydney. Oh, there we go. Thanks. Have you seen the new Icon of the Seas? I have seen it. Yes, I've seen a few videos about it. Crazy big cruise ship. Way too big. Royal Caribbean. Well, Carnival's got the now the Jubilee celebration, Mardi Gras. They're big ships. They're just bordering on too big. You filmed the metro recently, which you said was illegal to do. Were you scared of being sent to a gulag? Not at all, no. Yeah, basically, you could kind of film on a phone or, like as though you're a tourist or doing selfies and stuff like that. You can't use commercial cameras because it's what is it called? Area of importance or significance or something or other. So you can't technically film with commercial cameras. You'd have to get permission to do that. So I just film and then stop filming and start filming again. Actually, there was the normal security and the police and things like that in the metro, like there always is. And you can walk by them holding the camera and it's not a problem. It's no worries. Yeah, it's just, you just have to be cautious that you don't look like you're intentionally filming something. And it's good. Your wife did not complain about the cold. Well, no, she's from Russia, right? So she complains about the hot weather in Australia. I'm not bothered about it. I wear a jacket, I go out, I wear a beanie. I already know what the weather's like. You don't dress, you dress for the weather in Russia. So I was working in the onboard shops on cruise ships. I was doing the retail or the duty-free shops. Wants to buy a car or apartment. How can I get money from outside to inside Russia? That's a problem at the moment because you can't use foreign things like Swift to transfer money. So you can bring $10,000, I think, without declaring it. So come with someone else, you can bring 20. You'd have to find other means to transfer the money from one country to the other. It's not as easy as it was. We met in a karaoke bar in Thailand. We were on separate holidays. Had no idea we were ever going to meet each other. I used to go to Bali all the time, and then I decided to go to Thailand for a change. And I met what would be my wife there. Maybe it was all meant to be. I've only been 2 days in St. Petersburg. I went there for 2 trips to make 2 videos. So I can't really talk about it as a place versus Moscow. Per capita donation. Yes, I do need to recalculate it. Yeah, I'll do that for the next video. I'll have it prepared for the next video because it's basically divided by the total subscribers. American with Russian heritage. Thank you for showing what life is really like in Russia. Not a lot of people here like it, and it's nice to see the stereotypes aren't true. Yes. I guess it's like talking about different states in America and what we know is typical, like New York versus Chicago versus Miami, LA, Colorado. I've been to all these places, right? So Miami, Orlando, these places, and it's, you could walk around in the center of the cities, like in Pittsburgh or in Chicago, and it's different cities, even a different feel in all 50 states of America. Have you had potential sponsorship approach you to advertise products? I haven't, no. I get basically the spam emails every day, which are completely fake, or scammers who are doing sort of saying for sponsorship and things, but it's all fake, so I just delete them all. I've never been approached, no. And even in all these supermarkets that I go to, I just walk in and film them. People think it's all propaganda and paid videos and things like that. It's not. I just turn up, make a video, that's it. My parents, my daughter, my gosh, my wife is an only child. Her father's still alive. Her mother passed away a few years ago. Her father's in Ufa. We met him when we were there back in summertime. Yes, you can absolutely get English teaching jobs here. A lot of teachers left Russia when everything happened 2 years ago. So definitely, yep, there is a never-ending list of, needs for English. Basically, English teachers who are, it's their native language. This is what they really want. So ideally, someone from England who speaks English, or Australia or Canada, or I don't know, but somebody from a country that isn't English their first language, it's not as big a priority for them, for the schools and things like that. Greetings from Ireland. Thank you, John. Prices ballooned a lot in Turkey because of their 100% inflation each year. Yes, I think that's what's put a lot of people off going there. You like the ride in the icy river in Moscow? Yes, it's amazing. I could go and do that even without filming. I did it about a month back, maybe longer now. Myself and 2 subscribers, we went and did that trip. Actually, they basically arranged it and I went along with them. I already knew where they were going and everything, so it's more understandable. I find it difficult to understand Americans from their southern states. Yes, that's very true. And the different speed that they speak. How you made a video of Azbuka Kuza before? I haven't. No, I haven't done Azbuka Kuza. I think I have. I've done one of Globus Gourmet, which is an even posher supermarket. I'm pretty sure I have done ABC of Taste. There's 2, I'm sure, because I did there's 2 videos that I did at a street very close to Gorky Park. Welcome anytime. When you rode the electric boat in the icy river. I think that's the same. Oh, Wayne. Did I read that twice? Oh, well, 2 people wrote the same thing about the electric river tram. Yes. That was a very nice day. Beautiful weather day as well. Even though it was very, very, very cold, it was a beautiful weather day to go. And I don't regret going that day ever to go and film, because you need those blue sky days to make it look even nicer. It will be the name Jan again. Oh, Jan. What are you planning for news from Russia on videos? Well, I don't really do that in my videos. I just did that with Tucker Carlson because it was a trending topic. And it's actually kind of places that I've made up, not in those places, but I've made videos about Kuzny Tochka before, supermarkets before. I've actually one of my very first videos on the channel is a walk around of Kiev railway station, believe it or not. Those likes on the super chats are not working yet. They will be fine. Oh, I watched a live stream earlier tonight, and someone was doing super chats. So they only answer questions from super chats on the live stream I watched. And you could like the super chat. The obsession with the apartment that you and your wife have. Why not just invest the money in the Australian stock market? I have some shares in Australia. I have no, I don't have E-Trade anymore. Now I've got Combank shares Comtrade. I changed from E-Trade to because I have everything with Commonwealth Bank. So I have some shares in Australia. Absolutely. We don't want to pay rent. That's what we don't want to do. I think that's everyone's goal. Well, most people's goal is not to have a mortgage or not to pay rent. When did you get your first salary? I got it when I was 14 and a half or 15. I'd imagine when I did work experience out of high school in year 10, Then I got a full-time job, and then I left school. Will you do a Moscow? I would love to do one, Vulcan. I just don't know how to arrange it. I think I need somebody in the Telegram channel or chat to arrange a meeting, and then me attend, and then everyone goes to the place they've chosen. No, I didn't. I only finished it. I think that would be grade 10 and 12. Yes. So yeah, when you do year 12, you do your TEE or TE. I don't know. They call it some different lettering now. Basically, you get a score that you can use for university. I finished till year 10, so I've got a certificate of completion of secondary school or high school. How do the chats show up on the stream? I guess just me clicking them like this. Check that out. I can make it arrive and go away. Cruise ships. Well, there's the ships there's the riverboats that go between Moscow and St. Petersburg. They're kind of the riverboats. Cruise ships, I'm not too sure if what they go on. I guess you can go to Europe and go on one. Do I miss Australia? I miss my family in Australia. I miss home cooking from my mum, making like a Sunday roast or, spaghetti or something or whatever she'd make. Gleb. Oh, Gleb. Здравствуйте. What are you doing up so late? Gleb. My wife today asked me to say Gleb in Russian like 12 times. She thinks it's funny how I say your name. I don't really have any opinion about the Russian upcoming elections because I don't know who the other parties are who are in it. I literally have not switched the TV on in a few days. I look like Jack Black. Cuckoo. Thank you. Those go just fine until you use a tripod. Right. Yeah, don't use a tripod. Very true, Winnie. That's very true. Yeah, I literally do everything with my phone. Do you own a dacha? We don't own a dacha, no. We're trying to buy a house. Dacha is really a long way away. I had, every time you go to we go to our friends' dachas in summertime. And every time we go to one, we always think we should buy one, in the next kind of little street from where the dachas are to the next dacha. We're always looking up on the buy and sell pages, what's available in the area. People doing IT, people work doing that. I've got a friend who works for one of the hotel chains as a senior manager for the hotel companies in Moscow. So they want people that have got experience. I've not been to the Bolshoi, no. I'd love to go. Just for the sake of me saying I've been to the Bolshoi Theatre. And imagine I can just go buy a ticket tomorrow and go tomorrow night, and I haven't done that. As Bukakuza, only good feeling when it had Western goods. Not much of the stuff is the same as most other shops, just twice as much. They still have a lot of imported goods, though. As Bukakuza. So your story is a love story. It is, yes. Impact. Bon Scott or O'Brien Johnson. Yes, I really, I being that ACDC, well, also there's a memorial in Fremantle, and then he's in the cemetery in Fremantle Cemetery. He's got a like a statue at Fremantle Harbour. You improve your English from watching my videos. Thank you. I have no. Yes, it's difficult to listen and perceive English speech for me, but I understand most of what Russell says. Oh, thank you. That's so nice that you clearly understand. Has your viewership increased since the Tucker Carlson interview? On that video, it has. I think it's right about 200,000 views. I think it was like 194,000 before I went live. So a lot of people watched that particular video. Did they watch others? I mean, it doesn't really show an increase in other videos. One of the other Metro videos that I made when they opened the big circle line, I did the 7 new stations. So that video is getting a little bit more views. The apartment videos are always getting views. So that's, I guess people may be watching a second video after watching that one. I'm not I'm a tax resident of Australia. I was thinking that they might shut you down because of the political situation. Not at all. Yes, I've got Australian bank accounts. I've got my shares in Commonwealth Bank. I've got what do you call this? The superannuation set up there from when I was working in Australia. So yeah, nothing. Like it's not a problem. I like your live videos. Thank you, Marina. Thank you so much. With who you went with? Yeah, so I went. Yeah, not on the video I made. I went. Oh, it would probably be 2 months, at least 2 months ago now, maybe longer, 3 months ago. It was still cold though that day. It was a Telegram subscriber, and it was Joanne, who's been in the live stream occasionally. She's from Portugal. She was visiting Moscow for a month. Oh, I don't know, 3 weeks. And we met up, and the three of us went. We met up at one of the metro stations, and then the three of us went for a walk. And then we went on the river tram. We got off. We went for lunch, or afternoon lunch. And we got back on and did it the other direction. So we had and then later in the evening, we went our own way and went home. No, my wife has learned English from having a Russian teacher. She was a retired school teacher who taught her English. She probably isn't learning much from me because she doesn't like me correcting her as much as I do. Yes. Yeah, they have Belaruskaya Vaksal the other day. Free imported brands of chocolate, original cola from Georgia and Turkey, and much more. Right, yes. Hello. Solid investment. Right, exactly, James. Doesn't matter which country it's in. Goodbye, comrade. Здравствуйте. Очень приятно. Добро утро. Добро вечер. I hope there are enough Indian restaurants there. Not many. There's very, very, very few Indian restaurants in Moscow for student exchange. What was the crucial moment for you to decide staying in Moscow, and how do you plan to stay in Moscow? Well, my wife needed to come back here for medical reasons, and she had to do surgery and different things. So she came first, and then I followed her basically because I couldn't just leave everything in Australia at the time. This was 3 years ago when we made the move back again. So I'm completely happy here. I mean, my wife thinks it's almost amusing that I'm happy and I can go out and do whatever I like and, go wherever I like on my own without her. So, it's, I mean, most days when I'm filming, she doesn't come with me. She doesn't want to be on camera. That's why it's a struggle to get her on the live stream. So, and if we went out to do something where I'd film, it's hard because she doesn't want to be on camera. So she's got to be behind me, or I've got to walk past her, or like going on the river tram, she'd obviously sit down while we're riding it. And then she wouldn't want to have me walk through the boat with her sitting there. So, Nicole Kidman was born in Australia. I think she was. Yeah, she has to have been. Nobody watches old YouTube videos anymore. Yes, they do. People watch my old videos all the time. Is the quality of food in Russia better than Australia? Well, there's probably more choices here. There's a lot more fresh food. There's a lot more availability of fruits and vegetables. Obviously, seasonally, it varies here. So summertime and wintertime, Russia brings vegetables from fruits and vegetables that are grown here or from other nearby CIS countries. So there's a lot more availability of food here and a lot more choices. I have EBP visa. I'm now a proud Russian citizen. Oh, nice. I've never worked here, technically, so I've never had a work visa. I originally came on a tourist visa, then I've come again on a family visa, and then I came on a business visa, and then now I have EVP, which is residency visa. There's 2 stages of it. I just keep calling it EVP. I can travel to any Commonwealth country without visa rights. Yeah, so I've got an Australian passport, so absolutely. Kylie Minogue's from Australia. Yes, these are really the quintessential Australians. What do you miss the most about Australia? Red Rooster. If you're from Australia, you'd understand chicken and chips. Fish and chips down at Rockingham Foreshore, which is where we were living. Did you listen to some of Kylie Minogue's songs? She's the most famous Australian singer I know. Yes. Yes. I should be so lucky. I should be so lucky. Or you make the joke. I should eat Kentucky, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. I should eat Kentucky. Gothenburg, Sweden. Tommy, hello. Gothenburg, Sweden. There's an app called Duolingo. Yes. Have you ever met Bald and Bankrupt when he was doing videos in Arista? I've never met him. No. A friend has met him, who lives in St. Petersburg. An Australian friend, actually, who lives there. He's met him, and he, I don't know, he didn't have good vibes from him, if that makes sense. He's slightly different in real life than he is on the videos. He has a very big passion for Russia and CIS countries and all things Soviet, absolutely. But obviously, his camera's not on all the time, right? So, cozy, thank you for the cozy live stream. Yes. He's not banned from filming in Russia. He could, if he had a visa to travel here, he could absolutely make videos. He's not banned from making videos. He was asked to leave Russia when he was basically took in for questioning. Did you officially decline the cruise ship job offer after lockdown? I was not given an offer. I basically emailed asking some other cruise companies, other companies who I wasn't working for, and they were more than happy to have me come and work on ships. This was right before this channel kind of took off. So no, we no longer need. Now allows dual citizenship. Yes, correct. You can now go straight from temporary residency to Russian citizenship. Yes. I'm not too sure I want to give up my Australian passport in terms of having. I guess if you can have dual citizenship, then. I got in Moscow. When you will come to Istanbul, we're waiting for you. Oh, thank you, Mehmet. Thank you so much for the invite. He misses Red Rooster. Yes. I mean, okay, the beaches are there, the weather's there. We were there during November, which was beautiful, sunny weather every day of the week, blue skies every day. We were there for 3 weeks. We rented a car for the whole time. We went on road trips. We went driving around. We went down south to Margaret River. And it's all beautiful. Yes, totally agree. But I miss Red Rooster. I'll be staying in, I don't know, Krakus. I don't know these places in Moscow. You remind me of my uncle who passed away last month. He was a joyful guy. Thanks for the making me remind you of him. Krylsko region. They kind of call them regions here, and then micro districts. See you in Galavalkan. Sounds more like American English than Australian English. Where are you born? Yeah, I'm from Australia. The biggest problem is that when I'm here in Russia and I'm talking to people who don't really fully understand English, I tend to slow down my conversation, and I also tend to correct my English to be more correct and the correct pronunciations of words. So that's why it doesn't sound as Australian English, like, yeah, no worries, yeah, Miss Red Rooster, and going to Macca's and going to Servo and things like that. I don't talk like that because it would not be for people that really don't exactly know English. It's easy to speak more correctly so that they can make out the words that I'm saying in a sentence. Ivanka, oh, I just mentioned you. Someone asked us about going on the river tram. Was it 3 months ago that you were here? It was the best chicken dish I've ever ate in Vladivostok. It was baked in a clay pot that you break to eat. Wow. Sounds Australian, yes. Why shouldn't I do Russian collaborations? I guess it confuses the audience a lot because perhaps what they're watching for on my channel is different what they're watching other YouTubers' channels for. And it doesn't basically, if I do a collaboration with a Russian YouTuber, it would bring more Russian viewers to my channel, which is not a problem. I mean, where you're from doesn't, I can't change who chooses to subscribe, who chooses to watch. You can't, remove people from the watching and viewing and things like that. You can't do anything about that. But it would bring up a higher percentage of Russian viewers, which would affect the AdSense ultimately of the channel. I mean, there was a lady today at the supermarket I went to, Magnet, to get some mandarins, actually. I bought mandarins 2 days ago there, and I went back again because they were really nice. Actually, I had one earlier, if you want to know. And she subscribed to my channel because she knows that I made YouTube videos. I've seen her. Pretty much everybody in every shop knows me here in my town. And she wanted to subscribe to my channel, so she had me type in the name of it in her YouTube app on her phone. And it's another Russian subscriber. I mean, will she watch every video? I don't know. Will she ever watch any video? I don't know. But it affects the algorithm ultimately at some point, and the viewership of the channel. So it doesn't help necessarily to have certain people collaborate together. And where a English-speaking YouTube channel wants to collaborate with every man and his dog, it confuses the audience. And maybe if they join another channel or each other's channel, then they don't like the next videos that get shown and the one after it and the one after it, then it's basically messing up your audience on your channel. I hope that makes sense. Maybe I'm just explaining it a bit too in depth. Russell, you did well to show the real Russia. Thank you. Catch you next time. Thank you, James. Yes, we're going to go for... Okay, so we need to decide. Should we go for... Let's put a poll. Start a poll. 33% of people hadn't watched my video walking in the... I was going to call it walking in the footsteps of giants. And I guess because of Tucker Carlson interviewing the president of Russia, and he got over 200 million views on Twitter. I think maybe more than that of his video that he put on his channel. Well, it's going to be 3 more minutes. More minutes. 15 more. Or 32 more. 3. Oi, what's going on there? 3. It's 16 now. Or 32. Let's just do that 15. Of the stream. Can't spell tonight. Sure, everyone's going to say 30 more minutes, but it doesn't matter either way. Normally my videos are for 2 hours. If it's shorter, then it is. Videos from Russia for a long time, only from other countries. Yes, well, it's probably a year and a half, or is it 2 years since he was here? Yeah, I guess his videos are, I mean, I guess if you watch videos, he was in Pakistan. I didn't like the ones, I think he went to Japan. I didn't like them. I don't really like it when he does the collabs with other people. I like it when he does solo traveling. I think they're much better videos, but I guess it helps. They try and help each other's channels by being on each other's channels. That one where he was in Pakistan just now, I think it was. If you watched his video and then you watched Simon Wilson's video, and then if you watched Backpacker Ben's video, they're all different. And all 3 of them were essentially traveling together, and within the same few minutes were in each other's places where they were all filming. So clickbait guy, I don't know who that is. Will you ever go do visits? I'd love to go to St. Petersburg. I'd love to add all of the super chats together and donation alerts and get on a train and go. Vishal, by the way. Oh, okay. Vishal, pleased to meet you. Jaguar, привет. What things do you love about Russia and things you can't get used to? For me, love shashlik. Yes. Love shashlik. The Russian soul and being connected to nature more annoys me. Debating Russians. They can't. I don't like people that push in line to catch the bus. I have to catch a bus from Salarevo metro station to where I live, and I've got to line up for the marshrutka to bring me home. We don't have the bigger buses that come to this region. It still does the smaller, like, commuter buses. People love to push in, and I don't like that. And even where people push in line at Kuzni Tochka, and where else do people push in line? That's the main one, I think. That's what I don't like. Shashliks I love. Well, going to friends' places. We can't do it here in a building, but he wasn't thrown into a jail for filming that was in was that in Kazakhstan? That wasn't Russian if it's Kazakhstan. That was in Baikonur, the Cosmodrome, which is kind of a Russian territory, I guess, but he wasn't. He was basically given a lift home. It actually worked out good for him because he didn't have to walk, was it like 15 or 20 kilometers out from there? They were sending him a message to be careful when he is in Russia. Yes, he wasn't put in a Russian jail. He paid a very small fine to basically be released. Very Australian. Thank you, Peter. What's your favorite TV show of all time? Oh my gosh. I like renovating shows. I like The Block. I like The Office, which is comedy. That's about all for TV shows. The Block. The Block is a house renovating show if you don't know what it is. You ever met Steve Irwin? Steve Irwin was living in Queensland. I'm from Perth, the absolute opposite side of the country. So no chance I would ever meet him. Love to listen to her first album, 1988. I should eat Kentucky. Not I should be so lucky. I should eat Kentucky. Like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Got to be certain. Yes. Kylie Minogue. Well, he's a nice cook, so I hope I won't need many takeouts. Okay. Yes, we went on the Electric River Tram in January 5th. Okay, so it was 4 week. February 5th. So it's going to be 7 weeks ago. Thank you. Sorry, Ivanka. Ivanka. Joanna. What's your favorite Stolova in Moscow? Was in Peter for a while and loved Stolova #1, but couldn't find the equivalent in Moscow. There is actually Joanna will know this, that we went to Stolova 57, which is the one in Gum, and we had a bit of a joke about it. Like, where's Stolova 56? Where's 55? Where's 27? So I'm not sure where Stolova #1 is in Moscow. It'd probably be interesting to know where it actually is. We also went to one in the Arbat metro station as well. Cosmic Life Aliens. Do I believe? No, I don't know. Believe in them. I don't know Carl Rock. Oh, he's the guy that does the isn't he the one that does the scammers? Carl Rock, and he lives in India, right? I think. We are waiting on new videos on Russian stores. All the best. Thank you. Now I need to go make one, more than my other plans for making one. Australian American living in Thailand. I'm a new subscriber. Can you give 5 minutes background on why you are in Russia and what you do there? I make YouTube videos. I'm married to a Russian from Ufa. Actually, if you watch the previous live stream, my wife was on the live stream. The first one she's been on in 2 years. Yeah, that's pretty much the 2 minutes version. We met in Thailand, by the way. She was on holiday. I was on holiday. We just happened to be in the same bar one night. That's as simple as it was. Of the million times I went to Bali, and then the one time I went to Thailand twice. I went once on a holiday on my own, and I met her the second time I went and met a friend who I'd worked with on cruise ships, and she was living there as a teacher. Well, we haven't really got the final answer on Perth versus Moscow because it's a very tough list when you compile the fors and againsts of the two cities. My wife loves Australia more now after going back again in November. We were there in March for my dad's birthday. We went back in October for my mum's birthday. And the more we're there, the more she loves it more and realizes that it's, it is what it is. You live 40 kilometers from Moscow. I'm about that far as well. You should buy a flat near a railway station. Yes, an apartment. I call them apartments here, not flats. Moscow City, but have electricity. Yes, next to my house, and I got my job very comfortable. No buses, no marshrutkas. Yes, I'm in a Prelivka, and we have D4. It's the last station on the D4 line. Should I pack for heavy cold gear? Depends on how. I guess if you're here and if it's -7 now, so just open the freezer door and go put your head in the freezer door. -7 feels like -12. Light snow tomorrow, -8. It's warming up. It's getting up to 0 in the next few days. So that's good. That means it's normally going to snow if it's going to get colder, get warmer, let's call it. Saturday will be +2 degrees. Come on, heat wave. And it will get cold again next week. Yeah, definitely. If you can get a beanie, scarf, gloves. I find when people come here for the first time, or let's say a tourist, they feel the weather more and they feel colder than what someone who's been here forever has or been here longer. Because of your video, I'd love to see them putting money into useful infrastructure. Yes, yeah, buses, bus stations, train stations, absolutely. Can you give me 5 minutes? We had to vote for an extra 30 minutes from all of us. Yeah, pretty sure outstandingly 30 minutes wins with 57 votes and 141 people here. So there's people watching who aren't even voting. That's fine if you don't want to vote. 57 votes and 265 likes. And thank you to Adikam Xiaomi guy for doing donation alerts. Thank you so much. And Jackie and Peter for doing super chats. You're all amazing. Okay. I followed Earl Grey. Yes, I don't know any of these in person. Earl Grey I've chatted to on Telegram, but I've not met him. How about you interview Putin? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? I'd just ask him to help me do the paperwork for my residency. He'd be like, yeah, no worries, and just stamp it right in front of me. I'll just make a call for you. Okay, meeting him would be, oh my God, it'd be next level, like crazy. But just for me to see him from a distance, Bob Hawke, who was an Australian Prime Minister, came to my high school way a long time ago. Mark McGowan, who's the Premier of Western Australia, I helped out on giving flyers out for his election campaign because I got a free hat and a T-shirt. Yeah, just to see him. Like I've seen the Pope at the Vatican when he does his service. I think it's like once every Tuesday or Wednesday or something, or every week or 2 weeks. And I was there that day. Enjoy them. I hope he finishes his house too. Yes, he's in a bit of a different situation completely because of basically he got demonetized a couple of times on YouTube. So he got cut off from what he wanted to do as a YouTuber. And he's kind of struggling along with it now, trying to bring it back up to where it was. I've been helping him a lot with ideas and suggestions and things like that. Yeah, very, very nice guy. We've not met in person. We are going to, and we talked about it on that live stream. But super nice guy. We talk daily on Telegram. We do video calls, voice calls daily, literally. He still has children living in Russia with his ex. I think he's got like a 3 or 5 year, like, can't return to the thing. I'm not too sure what it is. And I would like to ask if you use MCD as regular transportation. The Moscow, the D4 is light metro, or is it still? Can you say that MCD is light metro, or is it still regular electric trains? Yeah, it's electric trains. They haven't got the modern ones on the D4 line yet. What are they calling this? Evolga 4.0 is the one they've got on D2 line, or D3. And D4 they've not got it yet. So we've still got the normal. They've got modern versions of the old train, modern versions of the old train, and then they've got the old trains. I don't use it. I do like using it, but it's further for me to walk to the train station than it is to the bus stop. So, do you like English accents? Absolutely. Yes, I understand them. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong. That's not even a question, really. I'm sorry. Lawn bowls in Australia? In Russia, no. As in a place where the community meets to have a drink and meet people from their local community. Not really. No, there's ice rinks, I guess. Kids, I don't have kids, but a lot of kids go to a lot of different school events and a lot of sporting events and a lot of community things. And I guess parents and families meet like that. Not really. I know in bowls club would be great here, wouldn't it? Indoor bowls. Come on. I hate marshrutkas. Yeah, I've got to catch them, though. I can't really avoid them. Joanna has a perfect experience of heavy cold in Moscow. Yes, absolutely. And actually the days we went out on a couple of trips, it was very, very, very cold. Absolutely, really cold. I'm not sure if she really admitted to how cold it was. So I think it's time to stop the poll. End the poll. Well, I think it's overwhelming that people wanted me to stay for 32 minutes, which is now 20 minutes. So, Russell, does your wife know how promiscuous the female crew members are on cruise ships? They're tempting for a man who has been away for 3 or 6 months. She knows everything, and we completely have trust in each other. And for the months that I went to do contracts and back and forward to Russia and Australia, we had a perfect understanding of our situation, and it was not a problem. And yes, men are promiscuous, women it's a cruise ship thing. It's ship life. We call it ship life. West Gippsland, 3 or 15 minutes. So I would either end. Well, now I guess we've definitely ended. We're going to go till 2 hours for the live stream. So that'll be was it like 16 more minutes from now? So that's my normal live stream time, by the way, is a normally 2-hour live stream. Robert, hello. I watched I didn't watch all of it. I watched the Bathurst 12-hour race. Was it on Saturday or Sunday, a couple of days ago? Kind of watched the start and the end, not all 12 hours of it. You can ask Putin using live stream like it was in 2024. Yeah, now, a lot of people made a joke about Tucker Carlson, who might be a YouTube subscriber of this channel, because he did the Kuzny Tochka video, because he went to Ashan. How is Moscow for foreign student scenes? Is it safe? Unlike most cities, it's completely safe. I don't really know what it's like, so I can't really quote that. Do you still vote in Australia? I'm not on the electoral roll. Don't need to answer the second one if it's too personal. I really choose who I think is the right candidate. I'm not a person that says I'm, Liberal or Labor or Greens or whatever all these other ones are now. These Teals. I tend to vote personally for the person I think is the better candidate in the election, and that's my answer. I'm not gonna, vote because my dad votes for them and I should vote for them. Things like that. Whoever I think is doing the better job. But yes, I'm not on the electoral roll at present because you can remove yourself from the electoral roll if you want to, especially if you're overseas like I am. So yes, the Russian media is a lot more real. Absolutely. Yes, and things are on the news very quickly here. Things get sorted out very quickly. They get shown very fast. I think when you watch Western media from here, it's like a day behind when things happen. Cars or stereo systems, motorcycles, motorbikes, personal weapons. They do, Tim. Yes, you can watch a video on my channel. I went to the Lada dealership that showed Russian cars, the Ladas, the Lada Niva. And I also went to see the Moscovich factory, which was the Renault factory. And then now they're producing the Moscovich in Russia. There's definitely a lot of Russian manufacturing here that's not known about, that's really not exported. Can you understand Gaelic? No. Hello from Florida. Hello. I don't drink and smoke. I have an occasional beer. That's it. Papa, hello in Florida. Australia it's a Commonwealth country, so yes. I mean, how much say they have in things? I think it's very little. There is a Governor General. Thank you, Andrea. I think I should have said that earlier for the super sticker. Thank you for the 6, because you're in Sweden. Thank you. Really, really appreciate it. Sorry for not doing it sooner. But I wish the Volga 4 will come to MCD4 SAP, but another line works perfectly. Thank you for your work of us. Yes. It's the worst example of the MCD project. Well, thank you. It's us, or the people of Aprelivka are very happy the fact that the price came down to metro prices to catch that train. And the fact that there's now trains running about every 10 or 15 minutes on the line, depending on the time of day, of course. So there's a lot more trains, a lot more often, a lot more comfortable, and a lot cheaper. So I don't think it's the worst project at all. I'm not, Peter, I don't have a drink. I do have a Chernogolovka bottle of cola here, though. Original Chernogolovka, which is the very famous Russian brand. I've switched to cola. I'm not drinking the Baikal at the moment. I don't have a drink on the table in front of me here whatsoever. Do I use the Russian language when I need to? I do. Well, I can't read it, but I can understand letters of the alphabet. And I'm an Australian passport holder with a Russian residency visa, so I can't do any of that. 3 new metro lines and 48 new stations by 2030. I don't know about today's specific news, but I know that there's. I was going past Potopovo, which is the next station on the red line after Komanaka. So I saw that. It's got this huge domed roof over the exit of the metro station. Crazy domed roof. It's huge. I'm going to go to that, of course, because it's near where I live. But 48 stations. I know they're trying to they're trying to link up some of them as well. I feel much cooler here in 10 degrees than you did in -25 with hat and gloves, right? And I think did I explain that to you, like in summer here, like when it's 25, 28 degrees temperature, I feel like it's too hot compared to in Australia where it's 38 and I'm fine. Been watching you for a while. Love your work. Thank you, Dennis. In Tassie. Oh, your map. Well, men don't have a map of Tassie, but women do. I'm sorry, ladies in Australia, if you know what a map of Tassie is. Maybe Dennis knows what it is. Find a boyfriend if I go on a cruise ship alone. Does that mean, Jackie, there is always more females on cruises than men. There's always more ladies than men on cruises. It's around about like 60-40. When you look at the, the guests don't know this, but when you see the PAX count, it's called the PAX count, passenger count. And it shows you the breakdown of what state they're from, what country, even the age, because they go by all of the booking information. You can see how many kids, how many people are under 2 years old. And there's always more ladies than men on a cruise. You could definitely find somebody. Just go to the bar, go to the casino bar, go to the Lido pool, go to one of the ports where they go to one of the beach clubs. From Perth, Rob. Oh, g'day. Rob Underwood in Perth, where I'm from. I was living in well, my parents live in Baldivis. I'm not sure where you're from in Perth. But we were living in Rockingham Foreshore with my wife and I, so she knows Rockingham Foreshore very well. Actually, on the live stream, she quoted quite a few places without me like telling her things to say. 22 Celsius. It's going to be massive weather shift indeed. Yes. Of course. -7, -10 now. Probably had Belarusian cuisine, just didn't know it. From Maui, Hawaii, here for the next 6 months. Oh, aloha and mahalo. I've been on cruise ships in Hawaii. Beautiful place. Tires on them. So Moscovich is Chinese. Actually, Gordon, watch my video. They don't put they do put the tires on it. Yes, they also build the hole underneath of the car and the drivetrain. They do more than just put the tires on them. Gordon, watch that video about the Moscovich factory on the channel, and you'll get a better understanding of the factory that I did the tour of. It was a personal tour, by the way, just me and the factory manager, and there was like a PR lady. I don't know who she was until I met her, literally. Jackie, thank you for the super sticker. Thank you so much. That's very, very nice of you to whoever's doing super chats and super stickers and donation alerts. Thank you. Really and truly. How do professional Russian YouTubers with Russians selected as their country residents survive now that they're demonetized? A lot of the bigger YouTubers have brand deals and advertising that they put in their videos, or they might have some sort of connection like with Tinkoff Bank where they put advertising for Tinkoff Bank, and then they've got like referral programs for people who sign up for credit cards. So a lot of them have brand deals that they put as adverts in their videos, especially the bigger YouTubers. The smaller ones, they're really suffering. And there's nothing they can really do short of changing the country of origin of their channel. They then have to change the bank account, go get a bank account in another country. The money from the YouTube goes to that country's bank. Then they've got to get it back to Russia, which is incredibly difficult. Gostalugi site. I'm not sure what my wife's doing for voting, Nelly. I really haven't asked her about it. But I don't buy it because I'm angry on the West. Fair enough. You don't have to buy the Coca-Cola. Dobra Cola, yes, which is really from the same factory as where Coca-Cola is from. And they obviously made the Dobra juices for a long time, the ones in the green cartons. This Baikal Cola, the Chernogolovka Cola, I actually prefer this now over Dobra Cola personally, but that's just me. And Coca-Cola is too expensive now. It's even the Georgian one or Kazakhstan one is too expensive, and it's not worth the difference for me, really. What's the best way to give money? If you want to give it to me, you can do a super chat or donation alerts. Both of them are the easiest way to give me money. If you want to use PayPal, that would then go to my Australian PayPal and to my Australian bank account that I can then bring back to Russia as a third option. Rob, do I miss Australia? I just talked about it earlier. If you didn't, I said that I miss Red Rooster, and I didn't even mention Chicken Treat, but I miss Red Rooster, and I miss chicken and chips with a wing, not with a leg, with a wing. Chicken and chips. I miss going to Rockingham Beach or Rockingham Foreshore where we lived. We lived just 2 streets back from Rockingham Foreshore, if you know the area, and just walking down for fish and chips. We went for walks about every second or third day. Especially, I was working at Coles in Cannington. So I'd drive from Rockingham to Cannington every day to work, come home, and then go for a walk on the foreshore to de-stress. Thank you, D, for a super sticker. D Chase, thank you so much. It's very nice of you to do a super sticker. And if anyone's doing it in other currencies, remember, it is actually bigger when it comes to my Australian currency. So no matter the amount, it changes to Australian currency. So it's actually even more than what it really is. Indian Russian Railways will co-produce and launch mid-rail. What? Indian and Russians are going to make a railway together? I don't know about that. Well, maybe they are. Co-produce and launch the Vande Bharat mid-speed rail. Tahoon. I don't like Tahoon. Russian soda from Soviet times. I've drunk it. I've had it many times. I just not a fan of it. Glad to see you online. Thank you, Tim. A free race. Tim Free Race. Thank you so much. Yeah, we're holding steady. 284 likes. Can we possibly get that to 300 somehow? I wonder. Possibly. Maybe possibly. I moved to Moscow 15 years ago. And the metro lines are doubled. Then it's even 50. Yeah, right. When I first arrived here, the red line ended at Yugosapana. And that was the last station when I first came to Russia 10 years ago. And we'd catch the bus from Yugosapana home to Aprelivka. And then they built Salareva, and then obviously all the lines now to Komonaka. It really, Robert, mate, it depends if you want winter now or do you want summer in, June, July? Do you want warm weather or cold weather? Yes, 46 in the Swan Valley, and without the Fremantle doctor out that way, it would be absolutely cooking. 46, holy smoke. Yeah, it's probably, I don't know, and that's shade temperature, right, Rob? I mean, that's not even in Australia, by the way, for anyone that knows temperatures and how they read them, they read it in the shade. That's 46 in the shade is just insane. I was glad that I was working at Coles and I could drive. We'd actually park at the Cannington Dogs. So all the staff that work at Coles and a lot of the shops in Cannington Shopping Centre park at the Cannington Dogs car park. And then normally they finish work before they would have races in the evening times. So, and I'd go there 6 or 7 in the morning for work and then come out at 3, 4, 5 p.m. and just, even that drive home back to Rockingham was just roasting. Thank you, Russell. I'm reading my own name. Thank you, D. I'm going to just repeat backwards. Drink water. Yes, drink more water. Absolutely. Krasnoyarsk. It is the capital of Moscow region. I live there and recommend to visit it. Architectural or architecture. And I want to ask, what is your favorite city in Moscow region? Well, I live in Aprelivka. I've never really, most of the places I've visited to make videos, I've literally just gone there, made a video, and then come home. Like when I made the Globus one, and then at the Chezhnok, that was in Korolov, which is the northeast of Moscow. And then when I went to go to the swimming championships, that was in the northwest of Moscow. I can't remember where that region is, but it's not far from Kimki. So I don't really have any kind of favorite place because when I get off the train or the bus and I'm like, oh, okay. It's like I'm in a new world and I'm still just in Moscow. No Patreon. No, I don't do Patreon, Robert, because it's just too many different options for... I do have Boosty. Where is this one? It's in the description of this video, Boosty. Set up for everybody. Someone asked to do Boosty, and I've got that set up as an option for payment as well. You miss being younger. I think everybody does. Have you been in small cities and towns in Russia? I've been to Ufa, and then Ufa region, and then Davlekanova. Your channel is on... How come you don't even get 200 views on your live streams? Because I'm not very good at scheduling them. And if I put more time into scheduling them, there would be more viewers. Normally, when I did the one with my wife and the one with Sam, we were over 200 plus people on the live stream. So it's just the timing of course, everybody's all around the whole world. So not necessarily everyone can watch a video on half an hour or 1 hour's notice. And that's why there isn't a lot of people. And that's normal on a lot of people's live streams. I watched one earlier tonight. They've got 1.7 million subscribers. And they only had 400 people watching the live stream. So, yeah. Yeah, it's late in Moscow as well. That's the other reason why there isn't. Well, I guess people that are local, but it's still late for Europe. It's 4 a.m. in Perth in Australia, or 5 a.m. Now it's coming up to 5. 7 for Sydney. Would it be 9 or 10 a.m. for New Zealand? So it's good time for America. Good audience for America. Road to 500,000. Yes, I was thinking about this today, actually. You're like, what's the next number I should have in my head? 150 or 200,000? It's kind of now just sort of just ticking over, right? So didn't expect that from me. Yes, thanks, AM Mapatazi. Yeah, I mean, you can laugh. It's rude to say it to an Australian lady or girl or whatever you want to call devushka, but it's still a good Aussie slang explanation. From Canton, Ohio. Love pugs. Oh, we have donation alerts. What can you say about the police in Russia? My friends say that even in the evening, small children without parents walk around in the streets in Moscow. Yes, absolutely do. Yeah, I mean, they'll come in a suburban area, 40 kilometers from Moscow. There are definitely people walking around at night. It's completely safe. It's completely fine. In Moscow, in the city or the center or any suburban area, you can walk around in the nighttime. We have a police station here. We've got a fire station here. Actually, yesterday, the fire alarm went off in our corridor, and my wife kind of panicked for a minute because the ducting kicked in. You know, like the ducting to get rid of smoke, and she called the fire brigade or the emergencies. And then I was looking out the lounge room window where you can see the stairwell, the stairwell skis, you can't use the elevators. And there was already the firemen there within 3 or 4 minutes. I don't know, crazy fast. And they came to basically figure out what was going on with this. So apparently there's a guy drilling holes, and the smoke from the drill set off the fire alarm in his apartment. But yeah, absolutely can walk around. It's not a problem. I'm going to just see what your name is here because it's in Russian. Translate to English. Rocket launcher. Oh, there you go. Yeah, for anybody, I mean, I could even vouch for in Ufa, in Davlekanova. I mean, these are smaller places, but absolutely the kids, even in the playground downstairs, we've got a playground right here. Okay, now it's snow covered, but they've put a lot of snow in piles, and the kids love digging like through these snow piles and stuff. No worries at all. This is what I see. It's not obviously every part of the whole country. It's not every town. It's not every city, but a lot of other Russians would vouch for the same thing. One more super donation alerts. Tim Free Race. Hi, Russell. Glad to see you online and glad to support your channel. I'm from Sevastopol, Crimea. Hope you visit our beautiful place sometime. Yes, my wife has been many times to Crimea when she was younger. Her parents and grandparents traveled there. Yeah, I haven't been there myself, but thank you for the invite. Tim Free Race, thank you so much. And Rocket Launcher, Adequate Show Me Guy for using donation alerts. Love to see daily life in other countries. Looking forward to future content. Thank you so much, John Wilson. Cheers. Oh, we're running over time now. Come on. Hello from Miami. Alex Bonda. Feeling sleepy now. Me too. Yes. Well, I'm a little bit from talking so much. I've been watching this, and it's almost 1 a.m. Yes. Well, it's 11:49 p.m. here. I look at Boosty. Thank you. Yeah, it's there if you want to use it, or PayPal. Super. If you watch another video at another time of day, there is the super thanks option on videos. Super thanks. We're almost at 300 likes. Yes. With your live streams, it takes practice. Every time you do a live, you're getting better. Thanks. Well, I hope I'm better. I've got it all set up that I can just quickly switch it on, turn it on, and get it going. Bitcoin. No, I don't even like it at all. Sorry about Bitcoin, crypto, all these things. It's just something I've never got into and don't have any need to get into it. Do I know Russian swear words? I know a couple. My wife says them mostly. You're only watching from Mumbai. Maybe. Moscow Oblast. I'm also doing YouTube blogs from Moscow. Geek in Russia. Maybe we can meet one day for a coffee. Of course. Talk about YouTube. That's what I love to do. Talk about YouTube to other YouTubers. My wife thinks I'm completely lost the plot when I'd want to do that. My wife is from Ufa, so she's from Bashkortostan, but yes, she's definitely Russian born and passport holder. Yes, Russian born and bred. If we meet in near future, I'll prepare a delicious Indian cuisine. I only like butter chicken. That's all. Nothing else. Butter chicken. Gleb. What are you telling me, Gleb? You're making me copy and check. And I have hobbies. What? What do you like to do, Gleb? I like mountain biking in the forest, skiing. I do aircraft modeling, and I also like to cook delicious dishes. You write poetry and write songs, Gleb. Come on. It's a lot of things. Yes, I gave like 1 hour announcement. David, I'm sorry. Eagle River, Alaska. 309 likes. Yes, 309 likes. And we're going to wrap it up in the next few minutes. Let's vote for an extra hour. Yes, it's probably a bit of a push now, I think. Unless people do questions on chatting. Oh, what's this? Okay, donation alerts. I keep wanting to say chatting. Where is the coffee? Where is the food taster? Where is the food taster? My wife? Well, that's me. I don't know. Trying to learn Russian and get ABP. I'm near Narofo-Minsk, but in Moscow almost every day. Well, I'm in a Prelivka. So if you're going from Narofo-Minsk to Moscow on 309 bus or 568, then you're going to go past a Prelivka to come to Salarevo metro station. Unless you're taking the train from Nara to Prelivka, then on to Moscow. So you're down the road from me, geek in Russia. Down the road, literally. Do you love living in Russia? I've lived here long enough, I think so. The word love is very tough, right? You know, when you say you love something, like your wife or your girlfriend, or significant other, boyfriend, whatever, cat, dog. It's a big commitment to say that word, right? And I've lived here long enough that I'm at that point. Yes, it's definitely safe to travel here, Noreen. Enjoyed the conversation. Having a good evening. Thank you, Mark. Oh, where does the food taste better? I guess it depends on who cooks it. I'm trying to get my wife to learn like Australian dishes and to do Sunday roast and things like that. I'm staying in Salarevo right now. Yes, that's the metro station that I use. That's the bus that I catch to and from Moscow. I didn't go out today, but tomorrow I'll definitely have to go catch the bus through there to get the metro to keep going. That's where I make all the videos in Solaris and then Globus. I'm sure it might be recognizable in videos. Alyssa, so yeah. And Salarevo is across Kiev Highway there. And then where is the family room with the what's it got? It's got the Hof in the family room, that little shopping center, the house shopping center there. Нет пенелай по-русски, чуть-чуть по-русски. What are we discussing here? Well, we're discussing that I should be finishing my live stream after 2 hours and 9 minutes and talking about life in Russia. If I will go to Russia from Dubai, do I need to have a visa? Absolutely. Everyone entering Russia needs a visa. Yes. Unless you're from a visa-free country with Russia, you need to check what passport you have to see which countries don't require a visa to enter Russia. There's not very many countries that are visa-free in entry to Russia. but pretty much you can get a tourist visa very, very easily. Is Moscow a place to raise a family? Moscow depends on whereabouts in Moscow, because Moscow is huge. I would say it is. What building are you living in? I live in a Prelivka, which is 30 minutes down Kiev Highway from you. So keep going south on Kiev Shosei, go past Vnukovo Airport, and it's the next suburb. Thank you, Robert. Have a good night. Andrea, thank you. Costa Fortuna. Yes. If anyone wants to click that link, it's the Telegram chat with David over there, with Andrea over there, with Joanna over there, with Vasily. He was here a little bit earlier. I'm not sure. Is anybody else in the Telegram chat? I've never been to Tasmania, T-Cash, believe it or not. I've never been to Tassie. I think then, I guess when they hear, okay, most Russians don't know there's that many Westerners here in Russia, unless they hear someone speaking English. And then most of the time they think that even I'm a tourist. And I have to basically say that I'm not, and that I live here. And even sometimes I've got to show my house keys to prove that I live here, which is funny. And in that video that I did with Tucker Carlson, well, not with him, about the places he visited, paka paka. Paka, paka, paka. Is that like goodbye? Paka paka. Yes. And don't forget the thumbs up. Yeah, so when I did the bit where I walked from Kuznary Tochka then into Europisky shopping center, and then I showed that little like temporary Rinok or Yarmaka, and I talked to the ladies. I don't know if I showed the bit with the, I think I showed the bit with the caviar, and the two ladies there were so nice, and I chatted to them like 10 minutes. And then when I explained that I live here and where I live in Moscow, and talked about a Prelivka and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, okay." And once I said a few things in Russian to them so they could just understand the basics of where I live. And I'm like, it's okay. I'm not going to buy. I don't want to buy any caviar. You know, we have caviar in the fridge. Thanks for today. Thank you, Tommy. Yes. He follows your footsteps by going to the metro and the supermarket. Yes, absolutely. I think we kind of covered it mostly. I didn't really fully talk about it, but it's interesting for me because I mentioned the thing there that when I first came to a Prelivka, when I first moved here, and I would actually catch the train myself to Kiev railway station, because that's the Prelivka to Kiev railway station was the train line before the D4 it got extended. And I'd come out and go to that shopping center. I'd go to that Perikrostock, go to the 5th level to the food court, maybe sometimes go to that McDonald's when it was McDonald's. And that was as far as I go. Then I get the train home, and that was it. I'd never get on the metro to go any further. I wouldn't go into Moscow center or into Moscow city. And that was one of the first places that I went to on my own without my wife. And then that Ashan is at, what's it called? Gagarinsky. It's called Gagarinsky Shopping Center for Gagarin, Yuri Gagarin. There's a huge statue of Yuri Gagarin like up the street from that. A pretty crazy, massive statue. And I would catch when the MC Moscow Central Circle opened. That was quite a lot of years ago. It was for free for the first few weeks, but I'd catch it a lot. You can just sit on it and ride in the whole circle, like an hour and a half. Then I got off at Plochit Gagarina. Plochit Gagarina is the name of the station. And I'd go there to that shopping center, to that Ashan. 4 p.m. in Boston. Hello. No warm here for sure. How do I come up with ideas for videos? I think about them today, go film them tomorrow. The Tucker Carlson one, I kind of thought it up after seeing the places that he'd been to, and knew that they were so easy to go to, and put them into one video. It was probably I filmed about 2 hours of video, by the way, when I put it all to edit it down. and I was cutting a little bit more. I was wanting to cut more out, but I thought I couldn't, so I left it how it was. But I literally, and actually that evening, I went to a snow skiing event at Vorovivogore, believe it or not, because I had tickets to that at 5:30 in the evening. It was X-Cross downhill skiing. Crazy sport. The mangoes don't taste as good here, Nelly. Even though the mangoes you might get are generally imported. So you can still get Thailand mangoes at Food City. They seem to say goodbye, but then for a while they say bye. Yes. Okay, everybody. I'm going to head on out of here. Thank you for 319 likes. Thank you for the amazing comments and chat. It is super nice of you, everybody, for being here. And actually, I mean, it's not about how many people watch the live stream. You know, my gosh, there should be thousands watching, you know. I don't have a specific topic that I talk about and just rattle off for half an hour before I answer YouTube, you know, the comments. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you as well. I've not the Green Theatre in Gorky Park. I've not been to the theatre there. No, I know there's the one called Garage. Is it called Garage or something there at Gorky Park? I've never been in it, but I've seen it there. Thank you for the donation alerts, Tim, Rocket, and Adequate Xiaomi guy, who was doing super chats. Jackie, Peter, Andrea, and D. Thank you to all of you who did additional donations for the channel. Again, it goes towards equipment that I use for the channel. Of course, the S24 is the ultimate dream, next dream. The dream from Super Chats. I've got a list of dreams. I think everybody knows that already from watching my live streams. Thank you. Love Pug. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, David. Again, yeah, perfect time frame. Yes, Mark, I agree. If anyone wants to follow, go over to the Telegram chat. If you've never had Telegram before, it's an app similar to WhatsApp. It's actually probably more safer and more secure and unhackable. If you want to do that, there's 700 people in the chat, and there's pretty much someone chatting any time of the day and night. So if you ever want to just come up with a topic or post a photograph or something where you are or something very nice and friendly, everyone will love to see it and chat about it. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to chill for a little while, and then I'm going to go and lay down, and I need to figure out where I'm going tomorrow for a video because I didn't go out today because I was doing things here. And the other video is still getting views. So yeah, if you want to watch an old video, if you're watching the Tucker Carlson video, I mean, it's not because of, well, I guess it is because of him I made the video, but it's not politically motivated that I made that video. I mean, I wanted to go to the Ashan. He barely showed the Ashan. Actually, the famous part at the beginning of the video, if you watched that bit separate one that he did, he was actually in the lower car park where he came in and took the trolley from where the lower car park entrance was. There was a big red banner that he walks through. And then, strangely, he like walks through the shopping center with the shopping trolley. Like he doesn't, I imagine he doesn't go to shopping centers. Just the way he walked through, you know? So it's just strange how he filmed that there. I mean, really and truly, he could have just walked all the way to the entrance, got a trolley at the entrance and walked straight in. But he like walked past, what did he say? He went past the perfume shop to get to the supermarket, which is just funny. But you are such a real and genuine person. Thank you. I adore you. Your wife is very lucky to have you. Thanks. Yes. I'm lucky to have her, I think. And the whole meeting and things like that and how we met is just fate, right? It's meant to be. Does my wife help me still? Not doing the YouTube. I would like it to be on more live streams. But yes, I help her. She helps me. She works. I do this. And that's that. Okay, everybody. Thank you. I'm out of here. Thanks everybody who's still here to the very end. Watch an old video, click something you may have haven't seen before, post a comment. It is impossible for me to reply to comments. I'm sorry if I haven't, because there is literally if I even just answer 10 comments and then refresh the screen, another 10 pop up. So it's impossible to keep up with the commenting, particularly on a video that gets 200,000 views, right? It's a few thousand comments. So I try to keep up with it, but I do about an hour or more a day of commenting, and then that's it. And I give up because it's too many. Not that I don't want to reply to them, it's just too many to reply to. Yeah, post a comment under this video. I'll definitely reply to the comments under the live stream, because it's a lot easier and a lot less comments. And I'll see everybody on Telegram. And I'll see you in another live stream and another video soon. Bye, everybody. Bye.